And to see my friends from media in such large presence and full strength is very heartwarming and very reassuring of the fact that Indian media is largely interested in knowing the other side of the story also. For the last 2 days, we have been called names, not only us. There's a favorite topic of some of my media friends to target Mr. Lalit Modi at the drop of the hat on any issue, on any pretext. We almost got used to it. But since the non-issues have been blown out of proportion and a situation is sought to be created in such a manner as if heaven has fallen in New Delhi, it is now advisable on our part to clarify and put our perspective on record. Firstly, some of the channels which are airing these stories continuously like a cricket match or in the manner of election results campaign 24/7, they are living up to their names, but it is a 24/7 channel, so they are continuing this story of the so-called Lalit Modi, Sushma Swaraj or passport scam or whatever they call it. Their first stand is that Mr. Lalit Modi is an offender and a fugitive. Let me clarify for your clarity and for your viewers at large that a fugitive and an offender is a legal term which cannot be used so generously, so liberally and loosely as some of my media friends are using. A fugitive or an offender has to be declared by a court of law under the procedure and the process as set out in the CRPC. May I ask these people who are very fond of saying the country wants to know, I want to know from you which court has declared Mr. Lalit Modi an offender. Please clarify this. Has there been any proceeding against him in any court of law which has declared him an offender? He is not an offender. He is staying with knowledge of everybody in UK by following the due process of UK immigration laws. The government of UK has allowed him to stay there because in the proceedings where Mr. Lalit Modi wanted and he prayed for continued stay in UK when his passport was revoked, the order of the first tribunal in UK immigration found and recorded that he is being persecuted in India and his passport has been unlawfully and immorally revoked. This is all on record. I can share it with you, all the documents. They are very bulky documents. Secondly, about the illness of his wife. Some channels have been saying that she was not ill at all and her consent was not required. Are they aware of the legal and the medical advice? I'll share it with you. This is a letter from a well-known foundation. Can you please span it here? Focuses this letter. You must have got it through my other sources. This is a letter by a doctor. He is not just a doctor, he is a research scholar working on cancer. I would not like to discuss, and I should not discuss, the cancer details of Mrs. Modi. She has been suffering for the last 17 years. And this fact she has stated in an affidavit to the first year tribunal seeking Mr. Lalit Modi's continued stay or residence status in United Kingdom. And that her statement has been accepted by that tribunal. It was a judicial authority, not a political authority. किसी नेता ने डिसाइड नहीं कर दिया यूके में, किसी के रहमो करम पर नहीं रह रहे हैं वहां की अदालत ने उनको अलाउ किया है कि वहां रहें. एक लेटर ये है जो आपको मिल जाएगा और इससे पहले भी है जिसमें लिखा है डॉक्टर ने कि we felt that the patient's immediate family members be physically present with her for emotional as well as for the discussion on the potential risk of the proposed treatment. इससे ज़्यादा क्या चाहिए आपको? कल से चैनल्स पर ये दुहाई दी जा रही है कि 14 साल से ज्यादा हो। ये जरूरी तो नहीं है कि 14 साल से ज्यादा हो। हर आदमी का अपना एक नेचर होता है, उसका रिक्वायरमेंट होता है। इमोशनल सपोर्ट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। Do you have any emotions for anybody's family? You are discussing publicly somebody's disease. This is a height of irresponsibility and insensitivity by some authorities in India. Let me tell you the purpose of, if you go to CBI website, you will find it, and from Interpol also. The purpose of various notices are different. The blue corner notice is issued to know the whereabouts of a person. Just to know the whereabouts of a person. Whereas the date and time on which this purported blue corner notice was issued, which was a fabricated document, put up on only on for media consumption by Mr. Friends, I will not name them because they are no more relevant to us. On website, that was a fabricated document, the blue corner notice. From the day he went to England, he has been communicated with ED and all other authorities, including Mumbai police, and everybody knows his address. Then where was the need for issuing any blue corner notice? His whereabouts were well known to everybody, whosoever wanted or whosoever was concerned. And in the process, now we have got, this is in 2013, a letter from Interpol Secretariat. Please, letter from Interpol Secretariat. Not for any political party's secretariat. This is from Interpol Secretariat. I'll read it out for your benefit. We acknowledge the receipt of your letter dated 24th August 2013. We would like to inform you that Interpol General Secretariat has not issued any blue notice concerning you, and that there is no information about you in Interpol's files originating from India. What more you want? This is coming from the horse's mouth. No less than the Interpol Secretariat and the signing authorities Secretariat to the Commission for Control of Interpol's files. Where is that notice? This very claim, which has been flying left, right and center for the last 2 days, is demolished. I'll call upon all those people to produce documents. When and where and by whom those notices were issued, the so-called notices. There was no notice at all. And if there is a notice, it will, the Interpol Commission would not confirm contrary to that. Now I'll come to the, briefly, now I'll come to the, though I'm not a political person, and I don't find myself competent enough to speak on political issues, but there is a political angle to this crisis as well, and it has got a background. Since Mr. Lalit Modi broke that connection of late Mrs. Sunanda Pushkar, Mrs. Sunanda Tharoor's sweat equity aspect in his tweets, he has been hounded by the agencies in India. So much so that despite the confirmation by the Indian security agencies, including Mumbai Police, Intelligence Bureau, I'll share those documents with you, his security was abruptly withdrawn. Security of his own self and his family members. I have got those letters. I will read it out for your confidence. In April 2009, there was a first page banner heading report in Mumbai's leading afternoon daily Midday about how Mr. Lalit Modi is being targeted by underworld don.
ललित मोदी के वकील यहां पर सफाई दे रहे हैं और पहली बार सुषमा स्वराज ललित मोदी के विवाद पर यह सफाई ललित मोदी की तरफ से आई है। उनके वकील ने मीडिया पर गैर जिम्मेदाराना रवैये का आरोप लगाया है और कहा है कि ललित मोदी को निशाना बनाया जा रहा है। वो अपराधी नहीं है, भगोड़े नहीं हैं, वो यूके में हैं, अदालत की इजाजत से वहां पर रह रहे हैं। उनकी पत्नी कैंसर के मरीज हैं और कोई ब्लू कॉर्नर नोटिस जारी नहीं किया गया है। होते हैं हाजिर, आप बने रहिए हमारे साथ, देखते रहिए।
In the meantime, like we have Right to Information Act, there is a Freedom of Information Act in UK. It is on similar lines like our RTI. Mr. Lalit Modi applied for his documents concerning his status for grant of stay in UK. There he found that his issue was not being denied or dealt with on merits. It was being done at the behest of Indian private persons and private officials and authorities including ministers. That is their information with us under Right to Information of UK. Now the people who are talking of propriety and impropriety should introspect their own conduct. What they have done, the entire UPA government was after him. Firstly, they revoked his passport on 3rd of March 2010 here while he was in London. And thereafter, when he tried to have his stay extended because he was being hounded and persecuted here, and he had